Well, our schedule today said Bobby Green on it. Do we need to make the correction that it's King and make that change official?
Yeah, it is what it is. Oh, shit. My bad. It is what it is, bro. Some people call me Bobby. Some niggas call me King. It is what it is. If you respect me, call me King. If not, it is what it is.
All right, well,
but I don't care. I'm not tripping too much. I know so many people, like my friends and everybody's like, hey, like, that's what you built this whole time. You're Bobby Green. Everybody calls you Bobby Green, And it's just like, I really don't give a fuck what you call me. Keep it real.
All right, well, we'll go with King. I know in April you were not happy. Were you able to move past that at all, or is that one still burn and sting a little bit?
No. You wake up the next day, that shit's over, I don't dwell in the past. I'm not that guy. Never paid attention to the old stuff, Whatever happens in the past happens in the past. I told them that day, bro. I was like, I was already hot. I could, once I found out I'm not getting my money and whatnot, and she's like, let's go for an interview. I was like, this is not a good idea. This is not a good look. Are you sure? She was like, yeah. I was like, all right, I'm going to talk that shit. I told her. And I just lost it on stage and ran out, you know what I mean? Like a mad-ass kid.
Well, I don't want to stir up those feelings again, I guess, but were you a little disappointed that fight didn't get rebooked and that he had taken another fight before a rematch with you?
It is what it is, It is what it is. I can't make him do what. And be honest, he knew what time it was. I wouldn't expect him to. He knew what time it was. Once I started figuring out his timing, like Jared has some weird things he does. Once I figured it out, like, oh, okay, that's how you do that little left hook he has. I'm like, oh, okay. Now I started slipping and making a miss. Oh, it's over now. I already had his timing. And so it would just get worse, It was just going to get worse. To be honest, I hit him with like a 2 right before the head collision. I hit him with a 2, and I saw his eyes get big. I was like, uh-oh, I know what that means, So I was trying to go in for the kill. And I used a technique I usually don't ever use. I threw a stupid flying elbow, like trying to come in with this elbow. But since I hadn't used the technique before and hadn't been comfortable with it, I ducked my head, not looking. And I didn't see he slid his head over, And so guys were saying I was dirty and all that, blah, 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 that bullshit. But it is what it is.
Would end up being, I think, maybe even a bigger opportunity instead, right? I mean, a former interim champ, pay-per-view. Talk to me what you thought when this was the opportunity that was presented to you.
Yeah, I got a bigger name. I'm excited about that, to be on a bigger stage. Finally in front of a crowd. I'm tired of fighting in the Apex, so I can really get this crowd moving, get behind me. I know Tony's a big a guy everybody I talk to, it's my favorite fighter, so it's dope to get that, and now I get to kind of win the crowd over even more, and show them my skills and why they should love me a little bit more than him.
Yeah. On paper, I mean, it looks like given your styles, the way they match up, it seems like it's going to be a pretty exciting matchup. Is that what you're anticipating as well?
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's going to be a dope-ass fight. I think it's one for the people, This one's for the people.
All right. Last thing for me, I think this is a big one. Like you said, it would elevate your platform even more. Where do you go from here? I mean, do you worry about rankings? Are you chasing that title? Or is it more about, hey, let's put on these entertaining fights. Let's put on this show. Let's build, that catalog that people are looking forward to?
For me, it's all about dollar signs, I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't care about cameras. I don't care about the cloud. I know the new days people are all about interviews and getting seen, and I really don't care about none of this. I wouldn't do none of this if I didn't have to, It's just about getting that check and making sure my goals were accomplished. I got goals to be debt-free, to not know anybody, any money, no tax people coming after me, no bill collectors. My houses are paid, and leave me alone. I can take care of my family with a few $100,000. I'm okay. I'm not a prideful man, or I need a bunch, or I need a lot of this. Just a little bit to get by.
What about the jewelry man, though? He probably some big bills there.
See, the jewelry, it came with the hood, I'm from the hood, and this was the first thing I saw my big cousin wear, and it's just like, that's what you made, you to be the man in your city. I've already done that, so it's like, all right, now from there on, all I need to do is take care of my family.
Bobby, the front right here. In terms of the actual fight, what are you expecting from Tony inside the octagon?
What am I expecting from Tony? You know how weird Tony is? If you think you're going to expect anything, you might be wrong, So I'm not expecting anything, okay? I'm not expecting anything. It's going to go how it's going to go, Especially with guys with weird styles like Tony. You don't know what's about to happen. So you expect this and you get this, you're off. I play and I'm living in the time where it is. I'm living in it, you know? Live in the moment, guys. Don't be worried about the next day, that day. Live in the moment. I'm going to be in there and just so into it that whatever happens is whatever happens.
So when he fought Justin Gaethje, he was pretending to throw sand at Justin. Like
I saw that.
So,
on
like,
ESPN.
does that get you excited knowing that like all this weird stuff is going to happen in there too with him?
I don't know what I'm going to do if he do some shit like that to me. I don't know if I start laughing my ass off in the middle of the cage. Like, what are you doing, bro? Or if I just punch him in the face. I have no idea. It's going to be dope, though. You got to watch it.
And last one for me. What are your thoughts on the main event between Justin and Dustin for the BMF belt?
Man, I thought it was dope. They're both earned the opportunity, you know. I'm a big Dustin fan. I'm a big Gaethje fan. I love both the guys. Gaethje sends me gloves, you know, the Onyx. So I'm always like, man, I need a pair of gloves. He sends and takes care of me. I love that guy. You know, he's been fucking cool as shit every time I met him. Dustin, cool as a fan, chill guy, and I fucking fought him. So you have to respect every person you share the cage with, you know. So I think it's dope for both the guys.
Do you think the UFC should use the Onyx gloves? A lot of people think that those are the best gloves out there.
Be honest, I haven't got the MMA gloves. I haven't got them. I'm going to tell them to shoot them to me. I haven't used those yet, and I do need some MMA gloves. But, yeah, that's what I hear a lot of people saying. Let me check them out, though. I haven't got I love the boxing gloves. The boxing gloves are the best ones I've ever seen.
Hey, Bobby. One of your guys, Nate Diaz, is fighting next week against Jake Paul. How do you think he does?
I'm going with my guy, Nate. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog. You know, we came in here, and I love what he's doing, you know, in terms of I've been wanting to fight Jake Paul. Somebody needs to shut the guy up, you know. I'm just under contract, and I can't get him, you know. But I'm glad that Nate's the guy to go out there and do it, you know. If anybody could do it, it'd be Nate, you know. I've been boxing with him, and I'm telling you this, the longer the rounds go, the harder it's going to get, you know. Jake can start out hot. He lets it go anywhere past round one, he's going to have a lot of trouble.
Do you think the size advantage is going to be something?
Man, of course. But I think that's them in the way they play the game. It's how do I say it? It's these little intangibles, you know, that's always going to favor them. And that's what he did with every fight he's fought. And it's a little bit that you don't realize, like it's a rehydration clause. It's this, you know, it's that. They do these little things. I'm the bigger fighter. I'm this. They want the advantage, but they make it seem like it's an even fight. It's really not, you know. But that's what they got to do to get them even into a fight. You know, they don't want to come straight, we weigh the same, we do this, you know. They want to go fight on a smaller guy and pick on this and that. He's not challenging an 85er, you know. He's talking about 70 guys who fight at 170. They're not 85ers. It's totally different.
Bobby right here. Tony's lost 5 in a row coming into this, but you look at the names on paper, you know, Nate Diaz, Michael Chandler, Beneil Dariush, Charles Oliveira, Justin Gaethje. Doesn't get better than that. So how do you kind of assess him? Like, it looks bad on paper, but do you think the criticism maybe around the state of his career right now is unfair?
Man, yeah. When you're fighting those top dogs like that, they're all killers that you all just named out. And so a lot of people will say that like, oh, well, he's coming off 5 losses. Those are to the world's best. You know, we're talking about the world's best. And you'll never want to take him lightly, you know. People are like, oh, he's done. Like, no, you just – it's the way the chips fail where, guys, some guys are going to fight a tough road. Some guys are going to fight an easy road, you know. And Tony's fought the tough road, and that's what you get to see from it.
So when you have done your prep for this fight, like, I don't know if you do a lot of tape studies, stuff like that, what fights do you watch to kind of get ready for what you expect out of him?
I really let my coaches do all the watching. I've been tuning in a little bit and watching his tendencies and blah, blah, blah. But again, like, every fight was different, you know. Some were on the ground, more based. Some were on feet, you know. And so there's no telling where we're going to be. We just need to be more aware of his habits and what he does every fight, you know.
Bobby over here. I'm just curious how you feel about kind of the concept of the BMF fight in general. Like, do you think it's a cool idea? Some guys have said, like, it feels a little gimmicky. Like, how do you feel about it?
I think it's dope. You know, because it separates the real from the fake. And guys, that's why guys call it cringy, because those are usually guys who call it cringy be the fake. You know what I mean? And what I mean by the real and the fake is that guys who come to fight, and that's what we get known as BMFs, because we have this certain stigma that comes with us. Now, the other guys, on the other hand, those are guys who want to do a match, I would call it. I wouldn't even call it a fight. I would call it a match. And they're doing a jiu-jitsu match. They're doing a wrestling match, you know? And so there's two different sides on which side of the fence you're on. You guys are coming here, are you coming here to pump the fans up and show them an actual fight, or are you just trying to get a W on your list?
If it became a thing where it wasn't just one BMF belt, if like it became a thing where it could be contested in multiple divisions among, you know, different guys, who are some of the guys who you would choose to be, you know, up for that theoretical BMF title?
You mean like you want me to go in each weight class? Or
You don't need to go each one. Just like which guys come to mind as like that guy's a BMF, that guy's a BMF.
Man, there's a lot of BMFs out there, bro. Like, and then we got a lot of them on our stage already, but there's just a few missing, you know. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. Adesanya's a BMF, you know. Adesanya, Jamal Hill. Those are BMF guys who were bad. Came up at the show, come to fight. Whenever the fight pops up, they're ready to go, you know. Go out there and bang and show you a great fight. There's a few more, and I know I'm missing a bunch of names, you know. But, yeah, it's a lot of guys that are out there doing their thing.
Bobby, right over here. So currently you're the largest betting favorite on this card, and kind of following up what Mike was talking about, given Tony's strength of schedule over the last 12 years in his UFC career, does it kind of surprise you that you're that heavy of a favorite coming into this one?
I don't really pay attention to all that stuff. Like, I'm a Christian, brother, so I don't really believe in gambling and stuff, and so I really don't pay attention much to those things. And be honest, I feel like that's bad juju, you know? Like, people would tell me, like, I'm betting on you. I'm like, hey, don't tell me. Like, I don't care about that, you know? Like, I got nothing to do with that. That's your sin. Don't put me in your sin, you know? I'm like, hey, I'm trying to fight clean of heart. Like, I don't want no drama with nobody. I just want to get out there and scrap and do my thing. I'm not really worried about, you know, I try to stay away from sin and stuff, especially close to my fights. I tell everybody I love them. I don't want to be in no problems, you know. I want to be clear of heart. And when I'm fighting in front of God, you know, he knows that I'm pure of heart. I don't got nothing in here that's holding me back. So, you know, with the betting stuff, bro, leave that over there. Leave that over there.
One more, Bobby. What do you think about Mark Zuckerberg versus Elon Musk? Two rich nerds coming into your sport that, you know, you've had to crawl and claw your way up for many, many years. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's kind of entertaining. The fact that they want to do it, you know, I'll give them the stage to do it on. This is probably the stage to do it. I think it's dope in that aspect, you know. Been having trouble with getting my Twitter back, so I'm kind of like, Zuck, what's going on with that? And then I have trouble getting my Facebook. I got hacked by somebody, so I'm on Mark, like, give me my Facebook back. And so I don't know. I'm kind of mad at both of them for that. Like, man, who I talk to, and it's like it's a whole ball of worms to get your shit back, bro. It's like I got, I don't know what happened, but my Instagram got took for a month. I don't know what happened. I can't figure out, I can't get in it. And it's just like I couldn't promote this fight. Nobody even knew, like, really I could talk to that I was fighting because I couldn't promote the fight as well. And shit happened like that. And now I have to fucking do it for a whole month. I talk to this person, call this, and I'm blowing up people every day to figure out what's going on my Instagram.
Bobby over here, Johnny with iHeartMedia Salt Lake. Given the success of UFC 278, what are your thoughts on fighting in Salt Lake City, and are you prepared for the elevation?
I ain't felt nothing with this elevation. I know a lot of people are talking about the elevation. I got out here thinking like, well, let me go ahead and I got to get out here early for the elevation. I came out a few days early, and I just ran that first day. I was like, I'm not feeling nothing. I ain't felt like something's changed. And to be honest, I used to train out here in Salt Lake when I was in Strikeforce. Like, I felt like Strikeforce was my coming out party. So this is symbolic for me. Salt Lake means the world to me in terms of giving back. You know, there's a lot of guys that came along the way that helped me. My coach, Jeremy Horn, he has his own training center out here. And so Jeremy gave me so much. He'll be there at the fights, and I'm going to try to honor him and stuff. It's just a way to give back and say, hey, thank you for taking care of this little black kid, you know. He told me so many different things that, like, I don't forget to this day. And I'm going to tell him I haven't forgot. So he knows, like, just because I think he thinks I forgot about him. No, I've just been so busy with the life and the career, but this one's for you, buddy, you know? And so it's a gift to Salt Lake and Utah for everything they've done for me.
One more really quick.
Sorry.
Sorry, one more really
brother,
quick. Have you gotten the chance to talk to Jeremy Horn or train over at his gym in Sandy?
No, I haven't. This one, I haven't. I called him though to let him know, hey, or can you come out? I would love to send you some tickets. Make sure the UFC gets you in. It's a dope part if I can just honor you and give back to all the things you've given to me.
King right here, back here. A couple days, speaking of Instagram, a couple days ago, you put up a post, or I guess someone put up your post on your Instagram, a message saying, like, to all young boys, don't worry if you never caught a body, you never, got a bag in the streets. Did something happen to like bring that up, or is that something you just want to get off your chest?
I've always been that type of dude. You're either on this side of the fence or that side of the fence, on the good or the evil. And you pick, And don't get me wrong, I'm coming from the streets and I got some ways about me sometimes, But I'm on the force of good. I'm always trying to push, especially the youth, in the right direction. I would never try to tell them to be like me or to do like me, but if you are, be on the side of good, You could, instead of doing drugs or instead of being a gangbanger, I never banged. I never needed that. Like, I've had 100 gangs asked me to go and be a part of that gang because I was in this city or I was in this home. I've been in 50 different homes. So every time I was in somebody's neighborhood and I had to beat somebody up, then it was like, hey, you should join the hood. I'm like, no, I'm cool. I'm off that because I don't need nobody to have my back, And so for me, it was just a way to show dudes. I feel like a lot of people feel like that with these gangs, like oh, they going to jump me, So I need to go get me a gang and have to have my back. I used to go fight with 4 or 5 of them. As soon as I slam one of them on the head, bam. The other 3 look like, do I want to do this shit or not? Never mind. Like, and I get away, Sometimes I had to hit him and then run, and they be chasing me. Now, it's a bigger guy and it's a skinnier guy. Usually the skinnier guy lasts the longest in the run. So then I run, and then the big guy's like, man, fuck him. He give up. It's the skinny guy who's still coming. Now I stop, me and him go toes. I get off on him. I get rid of him, I take off, and then I'll catch the big guy next week, Now it's me and you because they don't want it no more. They know what's happening. They know I'm going to get them. I already got them. Now we can run our one-on-one fade, And that's how it is. I always believed in honor, and if we got an issue, we could solve it one-on-one. All that jumping shit, all that bullshit. You don't need a gang for none of that. You could just be yourself, and so that was what the message was for. Be yourself. Don't. I do this for every young black kid that looks into the story. We got our little white heroes, which are plenty in the UFC. What about the black heroes? And so I'm trying to be the black hero. And if I don't look like I look, and they don't know where I come from unless I got the look and I talk the talk. So this is for every dude in the inner cities, in the hoods that looking the way to get out. And these things got me out, brother. I had little bumps and roads and roadblocks and blah, blah, blah. But this shit got me out, and you could do the same. I tell every dude in the city, on every hood I go to, I'm like, man, what's your toughest dude at? I want to see, hey, get the gloves. I give him the gloves, like, let's go, bing, 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 bing. Okay, you're not bad. Bro, I can teach you this stuff, and you can get out of here. You can get out of here. You can take care of your family. You can be the men in your hood. You can be the men in your city where everybody call you when they got problems. They need you to come and fix this. They need you. And so that's where the whole look was on it. Appreciate you guys.